नमस्कार। आप सबका मेरे इस भारत का बरगद चैनल पे स्वागत है। आज का ये स्पेशल वीडियो जो है, इसका टॉपिक बहुत ही सीरियस टॉपिक है और इसका नाम जो है वो है शार्प थॉर्न इन द फ्लैश ऑफ मदर इंडिया। सो अगर हिंदी में बोलें इसको टॉपिक को, तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि भारत माता के शरीर में एक बहुत ही तेज चुभता हुआ कांटा, ये मतलब है इसका। सो नाउ आई विल स्टार्ट विद my usual language which I am more comfortable. So the topic is now sharp thorn in the flesh of Mother India. What I am trying to say is this, that I will be discussing in this video caste system in Hindu culture, or in more modern term it is also called social stratification in Hindu culture. So why I call it as a sharp thorn in the flesh of Mother India, we will look when we keep on going with different videos. This is a very long topic, so I will divide this topic into 3 videos. Video number 1 will be the for history, and video number 2 will be the ancient Indian status, and number 3 will be the current status. So we will talk about this in 3 videos. So first thing, I will talk about the history of this problem. Then second is what was the status of ancient India at that time, and then what is the current status. So it will be 3 videos. So let us start with video number 1. So in video number 1, let me start saying this, that there was a demographer. There is a demographer. His name is Mr. Tim Dyson from Oxford University. In 2018, in England, he published an editorial in Oxford University about the estimated population of India in different times, and I have chosen only these three times to see what was the population during that time. Now, while I am talking about this subject, I will try to restrain myself away from mythology. I will be focusing mostly on archaeology, evidences. But I will mention mythology points time to time when you see there. So at this time, the population was, I will start from about Vedic period. So Vedic period is roughly about 4,000 years back. So as per the estimate, for demographic estimate, the population of Indian subcontinent was 5 million. At the time of Persian and Alexander invasion of Indian subcontinent, it was 3 million. At the time of not 3 million, 300 million, 300 million. And at the time, by the end of Christian era, when the Christian died, the Christ died, at that time, the estimate was 400 million. So 4,000 years back, 5 million. Persian and Alexander invasion time, like about 3030 BC or something, it was 300 million. And Christian time, it is 4 million at this time. Now, that was for Indian subcontinent. Now, before I continue further in this video, I wanted to give you my personal experience with that. Without going into too much technicalities, when I was growing up, what I was looking outside in my culture and in my society, that we were reading and watching films and TVs and cartoons and magazines and books from Gita Press for Chanda Mama or Mahabharat and Ramayana. And by the time early 70s and 80s, we had a TV series, Ramayana and Mahabharat. So our society grew up watching all those things. And I got a impression that whatever you see in Mahabharat, in Ramayana, or in society, in higher society, that's what the position was for the women in the culture, and that's what the position for the people. So that's what I got impression. So I thought that, okay, when the Sita can choose her husband, Draupadi can choose her husband, and they have a very nice life in their palaces. So we got the impression, and believe me, this is not for me, for a lot of people. We got impression that in ancient time, in Vedic time, this was the status of the woman. Everybody knew that. But I will tell you few contradictions that I noticed much later in my life. So these are the contradictions from Bharat and Ramayana, and I will just mention few of them. The first thing is that the contradiction I noticed, that kidnapping of Ambalika for Vichitra Sen in Mahabharat by Bhishma. Now Bhishma was supposed to go and get women for the king, and he went there in a kingdom, and he kidnapped 3-4 women. Out of that, there was a Ambalika, the big name. So she wanted to marry Bhishma because she got in love with Bhishma, and as you know that Bhishma has a brahmacharya promise. He don't want to get married and this and that. So ultimately, but Bhishma did not care about the wishes of or status of Ambalika. Same thing, Yudhishthira gambling and lose his wife Draupadi in the gambling. Now, see, Draupadi was not only the wife of Yudhishthira, she was also the wife of all the other Pandavas. There was no inquiry, there was no permission, nothing was from Draupadi, and it was a great fuss. There was a 1 or 2 series in the Mahabharata that only depicted the frenzy status or frenzy period of Draupadi in the event. But anyway, my point is that there are contradictions in this religious scripture that includes, which I showed you, plus Rama and Sita going to Vanvas while Urmila stayed home. She did not go with Lakshman. And same thing, there are time when Supnakha got involved in a love with Lakshman, and she wanted to marry Lakshman, and then Lakshman was trying to push off to Rama, and Rama was trying to push off back to Lakshman. So this was a back and forth game was going on. Ultimately, she got frustrated, and finally, Lakshman cut the nose of this woman. For what reason? Just because that she fell in love with somebody? You cut the nose of a woman? So this is I don't want to question any of these. These are all mythology. Either you believe in mythology or you don't believe. You don't contradict mythology. This is my point. So even if you say whatever you want to say, I can say whatever I want, but in my heart, you cannot contradict mythology. For not only for your religion, but any other religion. You cannot do that. So that was for Supnaga. And also in the Ramayana, I was looking those series all the time, and it happens that one thing I noticed later, I saw the fighting is going on, people on this side, people on that side, but the whole Mahabharata and whole Ramayana, there is not much mention of common society. Very few mention of common people. Not mention of any common society or anything, what was their culture, what was their way of life, what was their how they were trying to earn their living, and this and that. Nothing was there. And this really make me a little bit sad that why these great epics did not explain or mention common people. So that was one. Now after that, I will start from world perspective, all the religion in the world, and then society in the world. Then I will come basically to our Hindu culture, but I will also touch some other culture also. So let me start from Christian culture or Christianity culture. In Christianity, it was also very harsh and very punishing, but as the Western civilization invented and discovered a lot of facts of human life and nature, the whole majority of the Christian religion and church concept has been scrambled down, and it is your personal belief, you go to church or not, but in your real life, in your practical life, in society, it doesn't count. In Christianity now is very stable. But if you go back, in USA, I'm talking about in USA in 1960, only 6% of the children were born without father. That was in 1960. By the time 2010, 41% of the children are born without father, and more people slipped into the ocean of poverty. People say that in USA in 50s and 40s and 50s and 60s, there was a boom in USA economy, and majority of the society was very well off and they had a very nice life. But this is what happened now. There are economic classification, if you think of now, is called rich and poor. This the two main, or in political science we call it have and have-nots. That is for rich and poor in Christianity. And also in early Christians, these are the classification I'm giving you, social classification, not like a real caste system, but this is the way the society was classified in ancient time. It is called king, queen, nobles, centurions, soldiers, and laborer. This is the society in those days. After that, in modern time, what happened? We have upper class, middle class, and lower class. This is what we have now. Okay? So this is what we have now. And before I leave this point, I want to just mention one thing. Is conversion is possible? Can you become a Christian? Yes, the conversion is possible. You can become You can be converted to Christian. You have to go through certain rituals in the church and whatever, and then you become Christian. This is possible in social. There's this conversion. Next one I will talk about social stratification in Islam. As per Quran, early society was classless, no class, because it was only in in the Arabia Peninsula and surrounding areas. So that was at that time. After that, in due course of time, this classless society changed. Now you can see here what is the change. The change is Arabian Muslim, fair colored people of originally from Arabia, Arabian Muslims. Then you have non-Arabian Muslims, brown or dark color. This is from the word, that's what it is. Now you come to the Indian subcontinents. I have covered this topic in my previous videos, but today I just wanted to mention you the society stratification for Islam is ashraf, means originally from higher class or originally from Arabia. So if you are a higher class in India or if you are originally from Saudi Arabia, you will be considered as a ashraf. Then there are azlaf. Azlafs are mostly lower class of Muslim, especially if they are converted. We call it converted Muslims, that they have converted from other religion. And then there is a arzal. Arzal is the same class as you have in Indian called Dalit and untouchable. So these classes are called arzal. So when they convert into this class. So these are the three classification for social classification in Islam. After that, you have a Sunni and Shia sect. Each of these sects have their further subsects. I'm not going into too much detail on that. So next, which is very obvious, is this stratification which I'm talking is men and women. So of course there is a definite classification or distinction between Muslim men and Muslim women. That that problem is going on nowadays in India, very intense. So that was first. And of course, can you be converted to Islam? Sure, you can be converted to Islam. So let us finish by conversion thing in Christianity and Islam. There are two types of conversion that you will be seeing in course of history. One is called forced conversion, and other one is called voluntary conversion. The forced conversion can be because of any factor which will force you to become particular religion, accept. Other one is called voluntary, that you volunteer yourself to convert it into that. So we will talk about that, what history originally tells you, and what, as per my logic, what I feel should have done in the past about the conversion. I will talk about that later. But let us go next. Next we will talk about the Jewish social stratification. This Jewish social stratification, that it is a struggle for Israel because of a struggle for existence. So Jews have to go extra miles to stay as a Jewish civilization, because there's only one country in the world which is the Jewish country. So the social economic classes are same in any culture, like upper, middle, and lower. So that's what you see there in Israel. Also, you will see the beginning of this kind of classification, which I'm going to tell you. In 1948, when the Israel was formed, they invited all the Jews from all over the world to come to Israel and live with harmony, and we will settle down. So a lot of people came. Depending upon that, nowadays you can beginning to see this is the stratification now in Jewish. European Jews, Russian Jews, Asian Jews, African Jews, and South American Jews, etc., etc., etc. So there are much stratification, but as a whole, the social stratification is not a problem in Jewish. Now, the next final question is, can you become Jewish? Is conversion possible in Jewish? No. In Jewish religion, you cannot become Jewish. There's only certain ways you become Jewish. Either by birth, you are born in a Jewish family, or your mother or father married to a Jewish person. Only then you can be called as a Jewish person. So there is no conversion as per Jewish. Next one is Hinduism. So as per mythology, now I'm talking about here mythology. From Indian god Brahma, the caste system is derived from. That's what mentioned in Manusmriti. Who wrote Manusmriti? Brahman tells you that it was written by God and all the things happen from Brahma. So as per mythology, I am talking about this. The Hindu are divided into 4 main caste system, and this caste system is about 3,000 years old. So it is almost the time of Vedic period that the caste system started, from that time. And what it is telling you, that the caste system, the first one is called Brahmins, they have come from the Brahma head. The second one is Kshatri, they have come from his arm. The duty of Brahma was mainly teaching and intellectuals. The teaching of Kshatriya was to warrior and rulers. Then the traders and landowners called Vaishya, they come from the Brahma thigh. And then Shudra, lower caste people, they come from Brahma feet. Now here they have mentioned the duties and tasks of these castes. Out of these, the lowest one, there is no description for what kind of caste, what kind of work assigned to them, or what is their duties. Their only duty is to serve the higher class 1, class 2, class 3, Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya. The Shudra duty was to serve these 3 castes at any cost. So there was no specifics for what type of duty is there, just to serve. That means in modern term, it's like a slave. You just, whatever they tells you, you do that. That's what this Shudra means. Now, we also want to tell you there is something I learned about this. It is also listed in the research, in the research paper, that which is called fifth element. Who are fifth element? They are not one of these 4. They are different. These are called Dalit or untouchables, or Harijan. Mahatma Gandhi called them Harijan, or untouchables and Dalit. So these are called fifth elements. Their job was the lowest, meaner job in the society, to clean, to keep this society and town clean, do all the cleaning job, lowest job to do. So that was called the Dalit and untouchables job. Now, after 2014, when Modi becomes Prime Minister, he has undertaken 2 main programs. This is called Abhiyan, 2 main programs. One of those was Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and the second one was No Toilet, No Bride Abhiyan or program. So I will touch on something Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Now, before I go into that, I wanted to tell you some sections in this Dalit and Harijan family called manual scavengers. Manual scavengers are mostly the sanitation worker. Sanitation means just sanitation worker. they keep the society clean, including trash, human excreta, and everything. So the official definition for this manual scavenger is manually cleaning and carrying and disposing of or otherwise handling human excreta in an insanitary latrine or in an open drain or open pit. This is called the legal definition. Now, this kind of activities is very common before 1990s. After 1993, a legality happens that, as per law, this kind of open drain latrine and open sanitation, this carrying and disposing of handling human excreta, this has become completely illegal in India. But after 1993, it is illegal. But still in some remote area, in some places, it is still going on a small scale, but it is illegal, number one. Number two, that is called the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Under that, in 1993, 39% of the latrines were sanitary latrines, but by 2019 and for current, about 99% of the household latrines are now sanitary napkin. Those things are illegal. They are gone, open thing. So this is called Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which is very, very effective and successful. The second one is also very effective and successful now because there is a rebirth of knowledge and concept, which is called no toilet, no bride. That means there is a program that women has been encouraged and educated that if the family does not have a sanitized toilet, a closed toilet, then they should refuse to wedding. This is called no bride, no toilet. This is also from this Modi government. So this is the stratification for society in the world and particularly in the Indian subcontinent. So this was the first video, and I will be making another video after this, and it is the name of the topic is Sharp Thorn in the Flesh of Mother India. As you keep on listening to other videos, my other videos, like other video is like a video number 2 and number 3. By the time I end up in video number 3, you will see why I choose to call this topic as a great sharp thorn in the flesh of Mother India. And once again, thanks for watching. Jai Shri Ram.